we're going to take a look at the 5 best screwdrivers. I've used all of these, you guys, and the way that we've ranked them is through this criteria right here, all 5 of these. And I'll get into each of these specifically when I get to that screwdriver. But these are the things that make a screwdriver a great screwdriver. And after using these all, I definitely have a favorite coming in at number 1. But any of these on the list, if you're looking at them, I would say go for it. They're all great. I wouldn't have included them on the list if I didn't believe that they would be great for professional use day in and day out. And I'll give you guys a little rundown on some extras at the end, some things that didn't necessarily make the list but are really good or cool options. So we'll just throw those honorable mentions in there at the end. Now, I do want to let you know that today's video is brought to you by Markate. They are the reason we get to bring you guys awesome videos like this. For those of you who own service-based businesses, this is the tool for you, you guys. Markate is a CRM. It helps manage your relationships with your customers. You can send invoices, quotes. You can schedule your people and schedule with your customers all from one place, from your phone or from your desktop. You guys, it streamlines every type of communication and it professionalizes. It is an absolute game changer when it comes to how you run your business. So if that is you, you guys, there's a 2-week free trial in the description. You guys are going to want to check that out. It's worth every single penny and it's extremely affordable. So even if you're just starting out, if you're doing side work, if you're working towards that, it's affordable for you. I promise you that. They've done such a great job to keep the cost down. But let's go ahead and hop into the top 5 screwdrivers. Coming in at number 5, this is from Hazet. You guys, Hazet is a super cool brand. They make a very, very unique, different type of screwdriver from what we're used to. And you're going to notice that a lot of the screwdrivers are like this here. It's a very, very different design than what we're used to in America. They're not as common, so you don't see them as much. But this handle, when it comes to ergonomics, you guys, this is probably one of my favorite handles. Ergonomics is just how it fits in your hand, how it feels, the functionality of it. And what you'll notice about screwdrivers, a lot of these are foreign, is that they start larger in the back and they get skinnier towards the front. And I did not realize how much I loved that until I started looking at all these screwdrivers. But it really gives you just a feel. It's almost like a ball in your hand. You have a lot more control. There's a lot more torque that you can put down on it. And it fits in your hand. Like it fits in your hand like it's supposed to. Like it's actually made to fit in your hand, not like it's just a circle. Like I don't understand now that I've seen the other side of this, why other people don't do this. Also, the red is a hard plastic and the yellow is a softer rubber. It's still hard. It just gives you some texture. The little grooves in there feel fantastic. Things to note too, as far as functionality goes, they all have this hole in them, which is great. So you can hang them on this with this hole, or for you to have some extra torque in there for stuff. If you're needing a little bit of extra, you can put a smaller screwdriver through there and actually turn it into kind of like a T handle. It's definitely something that I have used in the past with some really tight screws. The price is one of the highest on the list, and I believe that's also because the availability is not as great here in the States. But it's so ergonomic and it's such a cool screwdriver that I had to include it on this list because of how much I enjoyed using it. The selection is also good. They have everything that you could ever need. They have insulated, just like this one, which is considered VDE. Those are their specs over there for being insulated and tested. They also have regular screwdrivers as well as beaters. So those are the 3 main type of screwdrivers that anyone will ever need. And they definitely have all 3. And you can get all 3 here. The VDE are just a lot harder to find, which might not be important for you. So if availability for VDE stuff isn't important, this one here might be the one for you. This is an excellent screwdriver. It fits screws very well. They're machined incredibly well, which isn't part of the criteria because they all fit screws well. There's one that really stands out, and I'll mention that when we get to it. It's number 1. I'll throw that out there. But they all fit screws well. Obviously, that's the main function of a screwdriver. And as far as durability goes, they do last for a long while. I've used this one here for a couple months now, and there's about 0 wear and tear on the actual screwdriver, the portion that fits into screws. Definitely a great option here coming in at number 5. Number 4, we have Witte. I'm also probably butchering all these names because they're foreign, which is fine. Correct me in the comments. I'm sure you will. Everyone always does. This one here is definitely a little bit different. As far as ergonomics go, I'll say that's where this one lacks. I think that it's better than most American style of screwdrivers that just have a plain flat, grip on it. This one has 3 sides to it. And so the cool thing about that is that it won't roll, hardly at all. It always stops itself, which is great. But basically it's a triangle, and you can see my thumb is on one side, index finger and my middle finger are all on a specific side of it. It's a little bit larger. Not an issue for me. I have good sized hands. It's still a little bit too big though, I guess. And so if you have small hands, I would avoid this tool forever. They really are pretty large handles here. And as far as price goes, it is lower than the Hazet, but it is higher on the list. They are available though here in the States, which is super cool. And the selection is outstanding. You can have every single style of screwdriver that you never thought that you ever wanted. They even have a corkscrew style of screwdriver handle that's made completely out of like corkscrew. I don't have any of them. I've seen them. They look cool, but I won't ever probably invest in them. But if you like stuff like that, if you like selection, if you like to have some different type of stuff, obviously they have the VDE and the regular as well. This one also comes with a hole in the back for you to get that extra torque on your screws or to hang them. And then these have the labels on the back, which I like this, especially with the way that I store my tools in my Veto Pro Pack. It allows me to see what the screwdriver is before I actually pull it out, because you can kind of tell, but not always, and you don't want to grab the wrong screwdriver. That's just not it. And as far as durability goes, these things are durable. They are solid. There's no issues. I mean, they'll last you for forever. That's really, they really are just a great set of screwdrivers. Quality, they're made really well. For the price point, it's higher, but you can't even really complain about that when you know you're getting a quality set of screwdrivers. And obviously they have a great fit to them as well. Like I said, every screwdriver on this list has a absolutely fantastic fit in screws. They are machined very, very well. Number 3, this is where things like start to get very, very interesting. You guys, this is Felo, all right? And these screwdrivers from Felo are fantastic. They are quite a bit different than the last couple. They have the hole on the inside here. They are all marked on the back here. And they are just phenomenal. The ergonomics on this are fantastic. They fit so well in my hand. I love that. They are also a little bit smaller, I would say, than most screwdrivers, but they fit just well. They look good. They're super comfortable. All of this red here is a softer rubber, and the yellow is a hard plastic, but it just gives it a very unique feel. And honestly, I love these screwdrivers. I love using them. The price is a little bit higher. Again, comparatively, they probably cost what you would pay for a Klein set of screwdrivers. For those of you who are here in America, which I would consider high, they are super available here in the States. They have every style available as well. They fit screws obviously super well, but they come in every variation that you could ever want it to come in. They come in VDE, the insulated style. They come in a regular style here. That's just a normal screwdriver. And then they also have a bunch of different styles too. Obviously, they have the beater drivers, and this beater is fantastic. I absolutely loved using this beater here. It's just been great. And I even have this random wooden handled one. Why? I don't know, but it's cool. It's got a pass-through shank. It's metal. It's huge. They come in such a large variety. They fit extremely well. They're incredibly durable as well. They're also incredibly durable. You guys, this is the one where, like, if you're looking at those other two, they're good options, but this is where things really start to pick up, and I would invest the bulk of your money into if you're looking to get a new screwdriver, if you're looking to get a new set of screwdrivers. If you're like me, all of your screwdrivers have to match. I know it's dumb. Feel the need to have consistency among the brand of screwdrivers that I carry, unless it's just completely different. But I will say that this is one that, like, if you're looking to invest in a new brand of screwdriver and you're looking to switch over, Felo, this is where things really start to pick up at number 3 with Felo. I've used these for a long time. I actually used these as my daily drivers for like 2 months. And I loved them. I really did. They fit screws well. They lasted. There were no issues. They aren't torn up except for this. I did tear this flathead up. You guys probably won't be able to see it. There's a small chunk missing out of it. Not necessarily a manufacturing issue, more like a live wire issue, and I pressed just a little too hard trying to get a switch into a really tight box. And I shoved the wire back, and I nicked the insulation, and I put a little dent in it. So that's actually why I stopped using those as my daily drivers, because I decided to ruin it. That's what I do, right? Isn't that what all tools are for? Yeah. But with Felo at number 3, you guys, that's where things really start to pick up and get interesting. I don't necessarily see a ton of Felo fanboys out there, but I do see a lot of Wiha fanboys, and that's for good reason. And that is why we're coming in at number 2 with this Wiha driver, you guys. These drivers are fantastic. They've been fantastic for a while now, and you can probably tell because you've seen them on a job site somewhere. Somebody's been using them. They're great. They're everywhere. They're super available. I believe they have some Wiha tools at Lowe's. I don't know if they have their drivers there, but they're really, really easy to get from Amazon and from different places like that. For those of you who don't know, they are incredibly ergonomic. The red is a softer rubber and the yellow is a harder plastic. It's super ergonomic. Like I said, the fat part here fits in your hand so nicely. The small part gives you a lot of control. It just works well. They fit screws. They're machined extremely well. They have a very long history of being a quality brand, quality screwdrivers. They make great pliers as well. As far as ergonomics goes, I'll give this one a really solid. It's a middle of the pack. It's not the most ergonomic, which is one of the reasons why it's not number 1. They also are slightly more expensive than our number 1 pick here, and which is really what I based all the other ones off of, is how they compare to my number 1, because number 1 is my baby. But they are incredibly available, incredibly durable. They are known to be one of the best brands for making screwdrivers. They do come with the cap on the end that will tell you what the actual screwdriver is itself, and the selection is huge. They have everything that you could ever need. It's not exotic like some of the other ones with the wooden handles and the corkscrews, but all that fuss is for what really? They do have insulated, regular, and they also have the beaters with the metal cap on the end. I've never tried any of their beaters. I've heard good things. I've never tried them. You guys, Wiha is definitely one of the top brands in screwdrivers that you can trust, that you know when you spend that money, it's going to be worth it. It'll last you for a long time. And they look good. They really do. I really like the look of these. They definitely look different than most things you see on the job site here in America outside of people who do use Wiha screwdrivers. You always know what they look like because they're significantly different from most screwdrivers that we see here, which is cool. And coming in at number 1, these things here, if you know the channel, you already knew this was coming. You guys, these are from Wera. Wera is an absolute dog when it comes to making screwdrivers. In my humble opinion, after using all of these for a significant amount of time, I just can't use anything other than Wera. Very distinct look, obviously. I love the way that it fits in my hand. It was like made to fit in your hand, which is crazy to think about for a screwdriver, right? I don't know why people do that. I don't know why people still use these random brands that just don't fit. So ergonomics is a big thing for me. The yellow is a softer rubber. The red is a harder plastic. So there's not as much texture here as some of the other ones. The shape is fantastic, though. You can see it has this little bump here. It fits like perfectly. It's everything that you could want it to be as far as ergonomics go. And the portion of this that I will say sets this apart from all the other ones is the grip that it has on the screws. Now, it's got these little lines here at the tip that are laser etched. And I thought, man, that's gimmicky. And then I used them and I realized how much better they actually fit screws than most screwdrivers. It is actually insane to me how well these fit into screws. There's a couple of things that really blow my mind about these screwdrivers, especially when you compare them to other brands, especially brands that are a lot more popular here in America. The VDE version is extremely affordable. It's one of the most affordable sets of screwdrivers that you can get on this list. Affordable as in like somewhere between 30 and 35, you can get a full set of these and not need any other type of screwdriver. Just make sure you get the one with the green in it. I'll leave a link to it in the description. But the one with the green in it will give you a number 1, number 2 square, number 1, number 2 Phillips, and a flathead that is the traditional size. I don't know, it's a 5.5 mil screwdriver, which is this one here, which is the one that I use daily. Not this one specifically. This is actually from my insulated set, the set that I keep just for insulated work, and I don't just bash and mesh the mess out of. This is actually the daily driver that I use, so this thing has been through some absolute abuse. And if you look at it from afar, it looks normal. And I get a hard time for this all the time. They're like, man, your tools are so clean. And they are, but it's just because I take care of them. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I've used this. I've abused it. It's gotten dirty. I clean all my stuff off because I work in some pretty professional environments. And the last thing I need is smudge marks on a ceiling because I picked it up off my screwdriver from working in a factory the day before. Whatever it is, these things are fantastic. And the selection, I will say, is probably above and beyond any other selection that there is. They have everything from stainless steel, so you don't have to deal with rusting. They have VDE. They have slimline, so you can actually not have the insulation poking over, which I actually prefer the one with this regular insulation because the slimline doesn't actually have the laser etched on the tip of it. And I prefer the laser etched. I would rather have a little bit of messed up insulation on my daily drivers than have no laser etching. So that's how I feel about that. They're super available here in America. They are just, pretty much everywhere. You can go look them up on Amazon right now. Every single style that you could ever want. They also make one of the best chisel drivers that I've ever found. It's a beater. They call theirs a chisel driver. It's actually meant to be beaten and pried and to chisel. Like, that's the name of it, is chisel driver. And they come with the yellow and black handle. I like that they made their colors different for all their different styles of screwdrivers, not just their VDE, but their normal stuff too. They look great. They feel great in your hand. They last for like forever. They really do last a very long time. And you can have every single style of screwdriver that you've ever wanted, all from one brand. And it's affordable. I can't get over that. They do make a bunch of other cool tools that can be more expensive. I have some of their ratchets and stuff like that are over $100. They have an insulated ratchet they're all insane. They're very unique. They're consider themselves the tool rebels. Very great branding. But in that, they really do provide a lot of utility in their stuff, a lot of functionality, versatility, all those big words that make tools sound good. You guys, that's Wera. I don't know. They're just great. They really are. At the end of the day, like, if I have one of these screwdrivers after using not just these, but many more styles of screwdrivers, I'm picking up the Wera every single time because of the fit, because of the ergonomics. And if I wanted to go pick up another set of these right now, it's not going to hurt my bank account at all. I'm not going to feel it. And I can have it here in a day or 2 days with Amazon. And I don't really see these around that much. Like, I see them on the internet. I don't, however, see them in the field ever. And if I do, I'm always giving props to whoever has these because they actually know what they're talking about and what they're doing. I promise, if you guys try these and you don't like them, like, I genuinely will be incredibly shocked. I'm not sponsored by Wera. I don't have any types of deals with them. They've never actually sent me any tools, ever. There's nothing. I have no affiliation with them at all other than the fact that I truly love to use these screwdrivers more than any other screwdrivers that I have ever used. And I've used all of these. And I promised at the end we would mention some honorable mentions, you guys. First and foremost, with all due respect, we have Klein here. They did not make the list. I do believe they're just too expensive for what they are. I don't love the performance. I don't love the durability. I don't love the ergonomics. This is basically what I was talking about when it's just so, it doesn't fit as well. I don't know. When you hold one of these in your hands, you'll go back and you'll understand why I was trashing on just a plain screwdriver like this. If you want them, go ahead and get them. They are a quality screwdriver. They're good. People love them. People live and die by Klein sometimes. And I love some of their stuff. They have some amazing tools. I just don't really believe their screwdrivers are the thing that's worth the money that you have to pay to get these. I don't. They would be one of the most expensive screwdrivers on this list if they were technically on this list. And that just doesn't sit right with me for what you get. Now, some of you might have journeymen who have these and you're like, I just want to be like my journeyman. You guys go ahead, be like your journeyman. You won't be disappointed. Like, they'll be fine. You'll never know the difference, especially not if you've never used something as wonderful as a Wera screwdriver. They're just amazing. It drives me insane that people spend more money to get less quality. I don't understand. And this one here is it's a cool one. It's a cool one. Vessel. These things are pretty unique, I'll say. As far as availability goes, you can find them here. They're incredibly different. It's a ball style of handle. They also make a regular one, but this is their actual like traditional style. It's a Japanese style. It's super different. I have never just invested a bunch of money into buying all the stuff from Vessel. Otherwise, I could have a better, understanding of it all. I have a very limited supply with just these 3 here. But one thing I'll say is they're machined incredibly well. They're durable. They are ergonomic. It's not what I'm used to, but it is kind of cool to be able to like have a whole hand around your screwdriver and also at the same time be able to put it against the back of your hand and still be able to put your fingers around it like that. That is pretty cool. This one's a pass-through. It's got a metal shank on the end. I've got a regular flathead here as well. This one's a little bit smaller. So definitely some different stuff there. It's an option. If you're like, I want to be as different as possible, Vessel's the one for you, at least here in the States. Definitely a cool screwdriver. They're a huge brand. They're incredibly well known and well recognized as making quality tools. So definitely nothing to worry about there. Quality tools is the name of the game here. I believe that you get what you pay for. And that doesn't always mean you have to pay more to get the best. It just means you have to be aware and you have to pay an actual amount and not pay like $6 for a set of screwdrivers. You guys, they last a long time. They're so much more pleasant to use. So it's like the amount of frustration that you spend to save your like $20 on a set of screwdrivers instead of spending that $20. The amount of just like, that you have to go through in order to deal with that crappy set of tools isn't really worth it. And if you love quality tools, I did just do a video on 7 inexpensive tools that you should pick up. All of them are so high quality. One of them is on this list. I won't ruin it. It's just Wera. You got to go check it out. The other 6 are also fantastic options. They might even make your life and your job a little bit easier and a little bit more enjoyable. So go check that out, you guys. Remember, it's all for His glory, and I will see you guys on the next one.